Hello YouTube, my name is Isabel and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate video. Yesterday, I hope that it was yesterday, still on time for yesterday, my Ken Spirits DLC video went up. Hopefully it's gone by the time, went yesterday, the 1st of December, not the 2nd of December, mostly because, well, let's just say I thought the video had been done rendering and all that stuff, and then I tried to upload it to YouTube and it didn't work because it wasn't fully done and properly corrected. So this video is also being recorded when that one is being rendered. Hopefully I can still do it. But anyway, that's not about that video, this is about this one, and this video is about me, my honest opinion on all the trailers, the 8 trailers that I chose to be here for my favorites, or how I interpreted each of them, and like what was the best, which was the worst, and all that stuff. And obviously there's 8 trailers I'm going to be talking about: the reveal trailer, the Everyone's Here trailer, Ridley's, the Belmonts, King K Rool, Isabel, Ken Rool, and World of Light in terms of the trailers that we'll be discussing. I'll not be including Echoes and Piranha Plant because, well, Echoes were just, you know, there, and Piranha Plant was also kind of there just to be a goofy announcement. Obviously when we get to the DLCs, we're gonna have to wait and see the DLCs if they're gonna include CGI or not, but even if they don't, we'll have to wait and see, because all those always include neat little references. But let's get started with my opinion on what was the worst trailer for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the worst in my opinion was Isabel. Isabel's reveal trailer wasn't that good. Even on multiple reviewings and multiple viewings, is not the best trailer. Isabel's trailer is absolutely not just one of the, I hate to say it, but one of the worst Smash trailers I've ever seen. It's one of the worst gaming trailers I've ever seen, honestly. Why? Because it was, for people that are not fans of Animal Crossing, it was kind of a boring trailer. There wasn't really much going on. It's also not a good trailer for Animal Crossing fans, because the moment everybody realizes it, when that little clicks in and everybody's like, oh, it's a Smash Bros. Trailer, it's a dirty way to do Animal Crossing fans, because they are watching this trailer and like they get excited, like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new Animal Crossing. And for people that are not Animal Crossing fans, will be like, okay, cool for you guys is gonna get an Animal Crossing announcement. But no, it's a Smash Brothers, because everybody immediately know it was Smash Brothers. It's like, oh, this is a cruel way to do it, because it's kind of boring for everybody else, while being kind of rude to the people that want Animal Crossing, because it's just an Animal Crossing trailer with a Smash undertones afterwards, and before the Animal Crossing for the Switch was announced. And it feels like a very dirty tease to those people. Obviously now the trailer might be better for Animal Crossing fans, because afterwards we know, hey, Animal Crossing HD or Animal Crossing Switch is in fact coming. But this was also the only trailer out of all of them that didn't include any interactions between franchises. Every other trailer outside of the Everyone's Here trailer, which goes without saying, kind of had to have people interacting from different franchises. Isabel gets invited into Smash, and in the CGI, that's all she does. She's in the town hall doing her stuff, and there's not a single Smash character or Nintendo character outside of the Pelican. I don't know its name, I'm sorry, Animal Crossing fans. And all we see, what do we see? We see her receive the invitation and immediately cut back to Smash. Like, you know, all the other trailers we had, even Wii U had the characters interact. Even Villager in his reveal trailer interacted with other characters within the CGI. It wasn't just like, here's the CGI, he gets the invitation and cutscene, and here he is in the game and that's his gameplay. No, it was, he's in the game. He's invited, he runs off, we see the introductions for everybody else, we see the gameplay, and then he gets introduced properly, getting his own tagline, getting his own splash screen, getting his own moment in the CGI with Mario and Bowser. With Isabel, we unfortunately didn't get that. And that's why I think it's such, in a way, a boring trailer compared to everybody else, because there's no interaction, especially in the Smash shows, there's no interactions. We just see basically a gameplay of Animal Crossing, and not the most exciting gameplay. It's and not even gameplay at that. We just see Isabel sitting on a chair in front of a secretary for a while after doing some work. And while that's fine, it's not the most appealing thing in the world, especially if you're not an Animal Crossing fan. And if you were viewing this for the first time live without, you know, the promise of an Animal Crossing or knowledge of an Animal Crossing game being announced literally seconds after this was revealed, you would be pretty pissed as well. So after that, my seventh and the second to last, the second to the bottom for reveal trailers in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is, and I probably shouldn't say this, is Ridley. Ridley's reveal trailer, although it has what Isabel lacks, it had action in the CGI, it had characters from different Smash universes interacting. We had Samus, and later on Zero Suit Samus, Ridley, Mario, and Mega Man. It feels kind of a generic trailer, you know. Yeah, Ridley shows up in a Metroid area, which isn't really from a Metroid game, I believe. It's just kind of a generic building or infrastructure, kind of reminiscent of the Subspace one. And he attacks and kills presumably Mega Man and he kills Mega Man. We hear the Mega Man death sound. We don't know if he kills Mario. We know he crushes Mario's head, but that's, you know, Mario can live with the brain damage and possibly some brain damage and maybe some more brain damage, but he's still Mario, and come on, it's the world of Nintendo. He probably got a Mega Mushroom, not a Mega Mushroom, a Maximum Tomato or a Fairy, or Peaches somehow has healing powers. We don't know. Nowadays they can just give powers to people, and she does it. The trailer itself was just Ridley's in, and that's all you need to know. And although that's fine, and the Final Smash for Ridley is still incredible, it still comes to it's still like the most basic of all the trailers, you know? If you look at every single trailer, this kind of is the most basic in terms of the Smash context, of like characters fighting each other, and yeah, we get Ridley attacking two characters from behind, and then fighting Samus for a little bit before winning, and then her turning into Zero Suit Samus. That was basically it for me. It's like it's a good trailer, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of comes off as a generic area background for a Smash trailer, like a lot we had in Super Smash Bros. 4, where we had the characters in all this like generic environments. The thing was, in most of those generic environments, there was an actual fight. We got to see at the very least little bits and pieces of the characters brawling with each other on that area. We saw that with Mega Man. Mega Man attacking Mario, Link, the Kirby, and Donkey Kong, and then fighting with them a little bit. And then when we got back to that the same canyon, we also saw Mario, Link, Samus, Olimar, and Kirby fighting Charizard, and then Greninja. Same thing later on in the same canyon, with the characters battling out when the Koopalings interfered. Rosalina's trailer had her crashing into Rainbow Road, and it was one of the few times we actually saw a character interact with another character in terms of in a different world. The only character from Smash 4 that I can remember that didn't have a trailer that was encompassing more franchises than itself was kind of Little Mac, and even Little Mac had its own stylized version of what it was, or what it was going for, that looked neat, and it still had Samus interacting with Little Mac, like calling him short, and then being a little more ball walking away at the end. And Ridley, out of all of those, comparing to all of those, and then comparing later on entries in these trailers, kind of suffers a little bit, because all of them have these amazing cutscenes, these amazing CGI scenes, and Ridley has him appearing to kidnap Mario and Mega Man, and we don't even get to see the killing blows. It's a black shadow over a bright red background, and then we see him roaring at Samus, toying a little bit with Mario's cap, which is a really cool image. But after that, he doesn't do nothing, you know, in CGI. Next time we see him in CG is him laughing because he blew up Samus's ship, and Samus coming out of the wreckage to attack him. I believe Samus's ship, because it's right after the Final Smash and there's the whole fire and thing. But maybe it wasn't. It was just him laughing because he destroyed Samus, and now she's on fire over there, and then she comes in to attack him. And that was it. Then, for number 6 in the rankings of my thing, is obviously this is all opinion based, is the Ken Cineroar trailer. And although I'm gonna say this, out of all the trailers in terms of animation, like all the trailers have beautiful animation, except for maybe Isabel, because it's just Animal Crossing animation. It's a very gamey, you know, although it was well made, it was still very gamey. It's Ken Cinerar. The animation, like I said, it's beautiful. We have a great moment in here when Ken and Little Mac are fighting. That's the really cool thing about this, and then Cinerar coming in and fighting him. Really also neat, very little neat thing was them mentioning Evil Moment 37, which is, I believe it's 37, I could be wrong, where in the original moment, I forget the name of the two guys that were playing. It was a Street Fighter 3 tournament, I think. I think it was 3. I could be wrong on 3. Maybe it was 2 when I'm misquoting. I know it was 4. It was before 4. It was still a 2D. I think it was 3. And there's 2 people. I believe the finals of the tournament. I could be wrong. I misremember. I don't know much about it. I know what it is, and I've seen it before, and it's a really cool moment where Chun-Li does her super on Ken. But the guy playing as Ken, and the guy perfect parries and perfect blocks every single hit, and I believe he only has like, I think the game is at 16, he only had 1 chance per second, like 1 frame per second to, or a few frames per second to get the timing right to block every single every single shot, every single hit, and he did, and then he does his super, which is what we have here with Ken parrying or perfect shielding the Little Mac punch and then doing the forget the name of the move. It's really cool. It's also cool the ending with both Villager Villager, Bowser Jr. and King K. Rool all lining up to fight him. I really like. It's adorable to see the Villager going. Come on. Also, Bowser Jr. is just throwing a few punches and King K. Rool just punching his own gloves like, come on, I'm ready to do this, let's do it. It's weird that we didn't have Donkey Kong there. I guess it's because DK in the game doesn't have a punch glove. But yeah, the thing that makes this trailer so low is I'm gonna go off of this basically for the first time I saw them. And while this ranks higher than Ridley, because although I was hyped for Ridley and I found it cool that Ridley was in, it was still, even then, a trailer that was like, eh. This one suffers a lot from the expectations, and the expectations for the direct and expectations for the final characters and for the final stretch of the game has a lot of fault in myself, because I hyped myself way too much, hoping for way too many things in hindsight, but also because of how the things Nintendo and Sakurai handle things. This should have absolutely not been the final trailer. This should have been maybe the August Nintendo Direct. I think that replaced this trailer with a Simon and Richter trailer, and replace King K. Rool with Ridley, because, you know, we have King K. Rool at the end punching the gloves of this trailer, so he had to kind of be announced beforehand, and have like Ridley be the final announcement would have worked better. Simply because if we see this trailer, but leading up to it, these being the final 2 characters we got before DLC, is kind of weak. Incineroar wasn't really the Pokemon most people wanted or expected for a while, until people started looking into what was happening in the anime and like how his position in the anime and with Pokemon in general seemed to mimic a lot of Greninja's 4 years before it. And Ken was obviously the obvious echo from the beginning, but even more so when Richter was announced. And it also comes from not just the Grinch leak, but the way announcements were handled for Ultimate. By the time before this trailer went live, and only after this trailer went live, we had still to know an unconfirmed status of Shadow, Isaac, Banjo-Kazooie, whether you want them or thought they could be in or not. And these are just the 3 more big names. We also had characters like Chorus Kids and others like, what was the name of the goddamn guy? Forgetting. Oh no, not the damn guy, but the characters like Rex and Pyro, Springman, all the characters out there, all of them could have been viable, especially like Isaac and Shadow. Shadow was kept away for way too long. Isaac had been teased. Maybe you could say that Skull Kid was also teased a little bit. I think he was teased a little bit with the whole Smash Direct in August with the chairs and all that stuff, given what happened with King K. Rool. And there was way too many expectations, way too many things kept in the dark. Personally, I feel like Sakurai kind of screwed up by not either. He revealed Waluigi in the first direct, like he's not in, don't ask for him. But then Shadow and Isaac, two highly requested characters, were kept in the back for way too long. We got the announcement of not Skull Kid, Shovel Knight before we got these guys, and I get it, maybe they weren't ready, but here's the thing, Waluigi probably wasn't ready as well, because we saw what happened with Waluigi was that he didn't get a single reveal trail or gameplay footage from E3 on any other tournament that came afterwards where the game was playable, maybe because the character wasn't ready. And with that, the character, with no gameplay, maybe he wasn't ready. Then for number 5, I have the reveal trailer. Why the reveal trailer? Well, it was hype, a hype moment, a hype trailer, very good trailer. It's not as good as the following. And all I have to say about this is that the only thing that if you watch my reaction video, and soon enough, I think like maybe this Sunday, maybe not this Sunday, but next Sunday or next Saturday, there will be a compilation of my reactions to the Smash things, including the intro. The intro was the one that I wanted to do. I wanted to do the intro, a reaction to the intro. I know the intro probably is already out there, but I don't want to record it. I want to do it when I play the game for the first time, that you guys are going to be able to see it on the 7th. And yeah, was that I thought personally that this was going to be a port, which technically speaking is kind of an echo. And that was all I was thinking it was going to be. And obviously it isn't. We now know it wasn't. But the thing of like being revealed and being 2018 and being revealed in the direct shocked me if it was going to be a port. It wasn't. The trailer is phenomenal, harkening back to the reveal trailer for the original Splatoon from 2014, and then having the Smash Ball on fire and the reveals of Mario and, more importantly, Champion Link. And not that Mario wasn't important, it was that Link was at the very least getting a graphic overhaul, and he did. And most of these animations are now, I believe, brand new, mostly because he now uses his right hand instead of his left hand. So that was kind of an important thing. Then for number 4, and we're getting into the final 4, top half of the list, in my opinion, we have the Everyone's Here trailer. And what's there to say about this trailer? Every character's here. All the previous fighters were there, which was important to do, which was great to do, because if the thing about Smash 4 was we got the announcement spread out for longer, but like when a brand, like we would go to Miiverse and wait for an update, and oh, the update is an old character is coming back, and then an old character is coming back. We even had in the Nintendo Direct the announcement of Sonic coming back. And I believe that was the big announcement between E3 2013, yeah, and Rosalina's announcement in 2014. And, you know, that was fine and all, but we went that long without a brand new character or a brand new announcement. And while it was cool not knowing who was coming back during that time period, it also felt like a little like, the excitement of the characters was not going to be there, especially for many of them. Did we really, were people like really questioning the return of some characters like DDD or I know the characters that really had like maybe they won't be back would be Ike. Outside of the third part, it would have been like I think it was like Ike, because people thought Chrom was going to replace him, and Lucario because people thought a Pokemon from Generation 6 or 5 was going to replace him, and who else? Meta Knight, because he was broken and obviously he couldn't be toned down, he obviously had to be removed from the game. But by ensuring this, it guaranteed us that no matter what, from this point forward, when there is an announcement for a brand new character for this game, it's new. Heck, we look back and if you look back at the reveal trailers for like Greninja, we had returning characters in the CGI in the form of Charizard in Greninja, or Mr. Game & Watch in, Pac-Man's. Of Captain Falcon, which was incredible in the Robin and Lucina trailer. It was still a returning character and not somebody new. Then for number 3, and when I got here, the 2 and 3 I really bounced off. Number 1 was always going to be number 1, but number 3 is the Belmonts. Obviously Simon and Richter Belmont are in the same trailer. It was a really cool trailer. The music on it is fantastic. The thing that I liked the most was Luigi walking through Dracula's castle and then getting killed before Belmont. Mr. Belmont was a little bit late, and so Luigi died, unfortunately. But we did get a very, very cool trailer out of it. Luigi dying is a shame, obviously, but it was a cool trailer. It had all the great reveals, like good moments of Luigi, like being scared from the characters from Castlevania, which makes a Luigi's Mansion that takes that turn and goes with more realistic looking enemies a really neat idea, although I'm not too sure how the poltergeist could work on a mummy or a werewolf. It would still be funny to see Luigi in those environments. It was. The reveal of Simon Belmont was clear as day when we saw it, and it was also the trailer that confirmed, without a shadow of a doubt, that that we would be getting third-party echoes. Richter was the first echo we got from a third party, an echo that nobody saw coming. A lot of people did not even know, myself included, who Richter was, and I hate the fact people say like, "Oh, it's a shame." It revealed who are the fake Castlevania fans. No, you don't need to be a Castlevania fan to want a character or a fan of a franchise to be a fan of a series. But you can still like the character, or you can still play some games and be a fan of the series. For example, if you watch back the trailer and reactions videos from real fans, you'll see a lot of these real fans call the because they knew Richter, they're the real fans. You will see them like when Simon is dangling his chain, they'll be like, "Oh, he has Cheek's chain." Cheek, you know, he's doing that thing he could do in Super Castlevania 4. I called it, by the way. I said it. I did not know who Richter was, but I called that the chain was like Super Castlevania 4. But they are the real fans because they knew Richter. But they see the chain from Castlevania Super 4 and they call it Cheek's chain. Now, sure, they'll say like afterwards in discussion videos, "Oh yeah, he does the same thing he did in Super Castlevania." But in the moment, and then calling out other people in those same discussions, it's a little weird to me if you are a real fan of a series. But that's all that I'm going to say on that subject. And also the reveal kind of boss characters with Dracula. Dracula is the first boss character that we saw. Funnily enough, Castlevania got the first boss character and the first Echo Fighter. Also, the third party that kind of showcased how much music we're going to be getting in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate by the fact that he had like 34 music tracks, which is an incredibly high amount. And for number two is King K Rool's trailer. Now, I really debated myself over which one I was going to put in number 2 and number 3. Who was it going to be? Was it going to be the Belmonts or King K Rool? I decided King K Rool for number 2 because it's just a fun trailer. It has, right now, my favorite music from Smash Bros. Ultimate. Gang playing Galleon is my favorite remix as of right now. Haven't heard it to everything. I've only heard 2 songs from Ultimate. That has been Vampire Killer, funnily enough, and Gang playing Galleon. From the leaks, I've only heard these 2 songs, and they're great. The game, it's great. The trailer is phenomenal. It's funny. King K Rool becomes like the right now the most what could be the best heavy in the game. It certainly will be the heavy with the most amount of personality in the game. And the troll by Sakurai with King Dedede playing himself basically was awesome, was the best. It was funny, it was great, it worked, and yeah, there's not really much to say. It was just a return of character people wanted. It had what Ridley was missing in actually interactions with in CGI, because after his final smash, we had that final awesome confrontation with Diddy and Donkey, and after that we have that little CG with that little, not CG, but in-game thing of like him playing dead, rolling backwards and stomping on them and grounding both Diddy and Donkey Kong, which is funny, which was great, which led to many people, myself including, to believe that Dixie was going to be announced in the next Direct or the next Super Smash Bros. Direct, because he buried them. What does he do at the end of Donkey Kong Country 2, or in the beginning of 3, Donkey Kong Country 3, he kidnaps 2 of them. So this is a reference, so the character's gonna be in, and obviously we didn't end up having that. Maybe Dixie will be a free DLC updates for Ultimate Free Echo. And the trailer ended on obviously that cool image of both of them colliding their fists in front of the sun with Diddy just being there. By the way, both of them, Donkey Kong and King K. Rool, running, charging at each other like feral beasts is an awesome image in the trailer. And obviously, number one, it could only be the World of Light trailer. Is there any choice for it? It's great animation. It's a great moment. Galeem is better than Thanos. I'm just gonna say it. Thanos kills half of the universe. Galeem kills 99%, 99.9999999999999 and forever 9% of the universe, because only one character survived, and that character survived because they teleported away to a pocket dimension before coming back in. And that trailer is full to the brim with such cool moments. By the way, we can now assume, in terms of defensive, the best defensive character in the game, the character with the highest defense in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Link. He takes 4 hits to go down, 3 on the Halloween Shield, and the Halloween Shield doesn't even budge. And then Link gets taken down on the 4th one. Then the highest dodges go to Bayonetta. No, shocker. Mr. Lucario and Mr. Greninja, all of them dodge at very least 1 beam. And what else? The fastest thing in the universe is now the Warp Star. Well, technically speaking, the Warp Star just teleports Kirby away, so that doesn't really count as the fastest thing in the universe. We had such cool moments. The smartest character, technically speaking, would be both for Wii Fit Trainer and for Snake. Snake, if you watch the trailer, he's in a box and you think, well, that's stupid, it's never gonna work, he's trying to hide, right? No, it's actually smart. While he was also trying to hide, it takes him a little bit longer to disintegrate. Unlike everybody else, it takes him a little longer. And Wii Fit, which was a ridiculous thing, she's doing a tree pose. What is she doing? She was actually doing her move, the tree pose move from 4 that had iframes or invisibility frames in the game, so that you couldn't hit her. She was invisible for a few frames, and that's what she does. And it kind of, you could say that she mistimed it. She didn't. It actually worked. It's just that, you know, the frames go away and she's taken and blown away. And it's also filled to the brim with these character moments of, like, we have the defiant characters in Mario, in Link, in Samus and Bowser and the Pokemon trainer fighting back. We have the characters that are trying to make out of there or dodge a move. We have like the Bayonetta, like mistiming Witch Within, or Witch timing, activating Witch Within, or a Bad Within. Why do I keep calling it Witch Within? And then Lucario using Substitute, and Greninja just jumping. Basically, we have Captain Falcon trying to get into the Blue Falcon. We have the characters or the characters trying to be clever in the Inklings, spraying ink on the floor to hide their, or as I previously mentioned, the Solid Snake box and the Wii Fit Trainer's tree pose. The dog from Duck Hunt cowering in fear while the duck courageously trying to fly away and being unable to because and trying to save his buddy. That's so cool. Sonic trying to grab to Pikachu, like, give me your hand before we both die. And while yes, Sonic could probably go to the speed of light and surpass and fly away from it, he probably wouldn't, because flying at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light, it wouldn't work there, because that beam wiped out the galaxy like that. And no, there was not a Thanos reference, is how literally, like, how fast the beams were, or the light that was encompassing literally planets was. Think about this for a second. If Sonic could travel at the speed of light, he would go from the sun from the Earth, assuming that that planet is like ours and it's close to a sun like ours or star like ours. It would take him roughly 8 minutes to get there. 8 minutes for Sonic to go from the Earth to the sun, and that beam traveled the entire galaxy in less than a second. In less than 5 seconds, I think. It covered the entire system, let's call it solar system, in under 10 seconds. He could have done that and more, and he did that and more for the entire galaxy. So Sonic could probably, but he was trying to get Pikachu, and that's so cute. And then obviously Kirby getting away. I know people are going to call Sakurai biased, and while yes, to a degree, that's true, we also need to remember, of all the characters that, also the other cool moment was Palutena doing her brave goddess thing. All the characters are obviously trying to block, like Palutena and Mewtwo and Zelda Boy. She trying to block while sending away Pit and Dark Pit. And the moment she gets eviscerated, both of them lose their power of flight because their power of flight is given to them by a goddess. It's so brilliant moments like those that make this trailer so good. And yes, although this is a CGI trailer or a cutscene from the World of Light game mode in the game, it's still a trailer because then we see the spirit battles into the World of Light mode, how to unlock characters, how you'll be fighting, why spirits exist. It's brilliant. I love all of it. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section which were, out of these 8 in order, were your favorite ones, from obviously the number 8 to the number 1. And why you like yours the most and why you hate yours the most. I don't really hate Isabel's, it's just I dislike it the most. Well, I did say that she was the most boring or one of the worst shows I've ever seen. I kind of exaggerated. It's definitely the most boring one that I've ever seen, and that mostly comes down to me not really being a fan of Animal Crossing. But I've seen worse trailers than that. It's just not a hype trailer. That's probably what I meant. Nah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Tell me in the comment section also which one of these characters, removing the everyone's here part, the revealed characters, the brand new characters, are you the most excited to play as? So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I've been the Legend of DS. See you guys next time.